Greetings, fellows in time and space! This is your host, TheAmariaShadow, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back once again to some more of Ace Attorney Investigations. This is it! This is the final episode of Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, and I am so glad that we are finally here. So we're going to be trying to finish up the rest of Episode 5, Turnabout for the Ages, to finally conclude this Let's Play today. So without further ado, let's get started on our way today's adventure, and see what's in store for us. Allons-y! So this could be a relatively long episode, a long portion or a relatively short portion, depending on how long it is drawn out. April 6th, 5:30 p.m. Very Big Circus, Big Top. Oh, hi, Mr. Edgeworth. Did you guys come to watch the show? Hello, Miss Berry, Mr. Saint. You're a little early, I'm afraid. We're still practicing. But I'm glad you kept your promise. Yes, I remembered you giving me this. That's so great. You're going to have so much fun. I think even you'll be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh. I think you've surprised me enough for one day already. What are you talking about? Would you mind looking at this photograph, Miss Berry? That's the eye painted on the balloon you used to advertise the circus, correct? Oh, yeah, what is this exactly? I have a strong suspicion that the balloon was used by the criminal we've been looking for. You do? Who's usually in charge of the balloon, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, that would be Simeon. But wait, you don't mean... Mr. Saint, you took the balloon out late the other night, didn't you? Sure, I was practicing. I'm still pretty bad at flying it, so I needed to put it in some extra hours. At night? When it would have been even more difficult than usual? A strange time to decide to practice. But why else would I have taken the balloon out? What are you saying? That you weren't practicing at all. You were taking an unconscious Kay to the top of the big building. In order to frame her for the murder of Rosie Ringer. The security cameras never recorded Kay taking the elevator up to the roof, which means she must have gotten there another way, from the sky, and the only person able to make that happen would have been you. But, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't understand. That's not all you did. You also attacked Sean at the garbage disposal area, drugged him, and carried him away. That's why you were late for the hearing at the courthouse, wasn't it? I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do any of those things? Please, you have to believe me. I'd never, ever, ever do anything like that. I wish I could believe you, but I can't. Any trust I had in you has been completely destroyed. But that's horrible! Why would you say that? You told me back at the jail. You said you believed I was innocent. You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club, after all. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill tonight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, we believe you. And we will get you out of here. This is just awful. I never thought you'd lie to me. We didn't lie! I swear, Simeon, You said you knew what it was like to be me. I trusted you. That hurts, Kay. It hurts so much. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. This is Simeon we're talking about. He's not a bad person.
Objection!
I see it now. That's your strategy, isn't it? With everybody, you root out their psychological weaknesses and exploit them. And without even realizing it, they wind up doing exactly what you want them to. Exactly the behavior one would expect from the arch manipulator behind all our recent troubles. I was too blind to see it before, but you won't fool me again. Simeon Saint, you are guilty of crimes too numerous to mention! Oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? You always did have the courage of your convictions, I guess. Luckily, grinding people's self-belief into dust is kind of a hobby of mine. Oh, there he is! Well done, all of you. Well, this is certainly a side of him we haven't seen before. So much for the trainee animal tamer who wouldn't hurt a fly. I guess that was all an act. But I'm glad we're finally getting to meet the real you. Simeon, this can't be true, can it? Truth, lies, what does it matter? Huh? All you need to know is that Mr. Edgeworth here has made me very mad indeed. And now he's going to pay! I was just out practicing. Sure, I went up in the balloon a couple of nights ago, but I was just practicing. I guess somebody took that picture when I flew by the big building. I fly around the area doing promo stuff for the circus all the time. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all. So you go up in the balloon reasonably often? Yeah, promoting the circus, like I said. Is that true, Miss Berry? Well, it's true that it's Simeon's job to go up in the balloon and spread the word. I guess just about everybody in the area would have seen him up there by now. Well, that same balloon was used in the commission of a crime. Nonsense! I just happened to be in the area where it happened. Somebody took a picture when I was floating past a big building, that's all. I'll be the judge of whether you just happened to be nearby, thank you very much. Sure, I went up in the balloon a couple of nights ago, but I was just practicing.
Hold it!
Really? Tell me more about this. This balloon, do you usually launch it from here at the circus? No, you need a wide open space. There's a park over by Sunshine Coliseum. That's where I usually take off from. I see. And how do you get the balloon to the park to launch it? Not by hand, that's for sure. The thing must weigh a few 100 pounds. It's kind of impressive that it can even get off of the ground now that I think about it. I'd prefer it if you didn't change the subject. How do you transport the balloon? Wow, give a guy a break, will you? It's not like I was getting miles off track. Sheesh. We use a truck, okay? You just load it on the back and away you go. A truck, you say? Yeah, last time I took it out would have been 2 days ago. That could be important. I better keep it in mind. Last time I took the balloon out on the truck would have been then. The day before last. Oh, a truck, you say? Would it happen to be a blue truck?
Objection!
Would it happen to be a blue truck? This truck, it wouldn't happen to be blue by any chance. Huh? So what if it is? We happened to see a blue truck ourselves just today. One with a large basket loaded on the back. If that was the truck you told us about, then your statement about it not having moved in 2 days is a lie. Agent Lang! Emma! There you are, Mr. Edgeworth, at last! I've been trying to find you ever since we wrapped up the case yesterday. Kay sent me a message saying you were here, so I came right away. And I found what you asked me to go look for. It was loaded onto a truck in the parking lot out back. A blue truck. Well, well. I think that truck might be the one we saw earlier today. In fact, I'm almost certain. What? Just because it's blue? Like a million other trucks? What makes you so sure it's the exact same one? No, I saw it too. It's the same one for sure. Huh? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? That wasn't me! Worthless are the words of a man who can't back up his claims with evidence. Wow, you sound just like him! Show me! I demand proof! I must be able to prove it somehow. It's the same truck, I'm sure of it. Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck? The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while. No way! You could just tell just from that? What can I use to prove it's the same truck? Maybe some fingerprint dusting? I like to have the truck dusted for fingerprints. Huh? Why would you want to do that? Because I expect to find a certain very specific set of prints. And if I do, that will prove beyond all doubt that it's the truck we saw in front of the big building. Whose prints will prove it was the truck we saw? Mine! Yours? You think you're going to find your own prints on there? I do, because I put my hand on your truck when I saw it in front of the big building. Let's see what we could find, shall we? Emma, could you lend us your scientific skills one more time? That's why I'm here! One moment, please. Already, take it away, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? Me? Of course! Who else did you think was going to do it? Don't worry, it's easy. I'll show you how. Fine, although I don't see why you can't do it yourself. So just spread the powder over the area you want to search for prints, like this. Moving the cursor around and pressing X will allow me to dust the area with powder. It sticks to fingerprints, so once you've found one, make sure to dump plenty on there, and then blow away the excess. Blow it away? Yeah, with your mouth. Ah, like that. Blowing with triangle should remove any excess powder. Alright, you got all that? Yes, thank you. Now to try it for real. Oh, there's no such thing as too much powder, by the way. Go crazy. Spam buttons! Spam buttons! Hello, fingerprint. That's it. That's a nice clean print you got there. Can we compare it to my prints right away? Yep, leave it to me. That confirms it. It's Mr. Edgeworth's print, all right. And with that, another lie is exposed. So what were you doing in the truck? Oh, just driving around for fun, you know. Kay was abducted 2 nights ago, and your balloon was sighted nearby. Then today, another abduction, this time involving a truck supposedly used to transport garbage, and your truck was sighted nearby. Coincidence, nothing more. You want me to believe that you were near the scene of 2 separate abductions simply by chance? Just be honest, you were involved in both. What makes you think they were even connected? A certain very important piece of evidence, that's what. Heh! Oh, this should be good. What connects Kay and Sean's abductions? Dying. Stupid iPad just will not stay charged. SEGA! Thank you! Oh, I know what it is. It was a sedative, because they were both knocked out with the same sedative.
Take that!
Kay was drugged with a dose of a powerful sedative, and a bottle of sedative was found right where Sean was being held captive. The very same brand, no less. Huh, I knew you'd try something like this. So the same sedative was used. So what? Does that mean everything's connected? You know as well as I do that doesn't prove anything for sure. Ah! We must have something. There must be a piece of evidence that can tie him to both crimes. Cops, prosecutors. You, Miles. You're all the same at the end of the day. You force the evidence to fit the crime, or you flat out make it up. Just as long as somebody goes to jail. You're no different from a certain other evidence tamperer we've had the misfortune of meeting. No! I'm nothing like him! Then show me! Hit me with your killer piece of evidence! You must have one, right? It's no use. We don't have anything that can tie it directly to both kidnappings. Okay, you about done there, Miles? No more cheap shots left to fire? Great, we'll have a show to be rehearsing for, so if you don't mind...
Objection!
Hello, Eddie. Hey, come on now. You two, there's no need to get all hot under the collar. Wouldn't want your good looks running down your face now, would you? Would we, City and old pal? What are you sticking your nose in for? Hey, I just sensed the vibe getting a little harsh and heavy, yeah? Thought I ought to lighten the mood. Help me out here, Kay. Lift our spirits with a little dose of the old great thief magic. You don't have to tell me twice. Okay, let me see if I can do Simeon's voice. Here goes. Objection. What are you? Take this seriously, will you? Thought you could do with somebody running a little interference for you, master. Not the most ethical approach, I know, but again, Kay, again. We could worry about whether or not this is the right thing to do later. This is my last chance to try and prove the connection between Mr. Saint and his crimes. Let's forget the kidnappings for now. Is there anything else that suggests that he is our mastermind? Of course! Canis was looking for a seeker string puller too. The young pup, as he called him. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was that same young pup, then perhaps... But what evidence do I have that might point to him being involved behind the scenes? Excuse me. Wouldn't it be the correspondent chess diagram?
Take that!
I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. In that same person. Might well be our secret stream puller. That's right, our mastermind was involved in Canis and Knight's correspondence chess exchanges. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was the hidden intermediary between the two of them. Alright, that's enough. This is getting painful. You don't have anything, and I have to practice for the show, so if you don't mind. Thank you, Mr. Fender. I can take it from here, and I can't take any more of your interventions. Whew, just look at that face. Yeah, I like it. Mother-Noroi back in the game for sure. I'm Simeon the funny clown. Look at me, I'm, juggling. Okay, you can stop now. Mr. Saint, you're a fan of chess, I take it. Huh? Where does that come from? Chess? Sure, I don't hate it. Our secret string puller was playing correspondence chess with Mr. Canis. I thought Bronco was the one playing chess with Canis. You're saying he was your so-called mastermind? No, it wasn't him. Whoever it was went on manipulating events even after Knight's death. Take a look at this letter, if you would. Who do you think could have written it? I believe it was the person who had inserted himself between Mr. Canis and Knight. And you think that person was me? Why would I go through all that trouble? That's crazy! Make it appear that the two men were connected and communicating directly with one another. The very fact that led Fifi Laguerre to murder him. What? You're saying he set that up to try and get Mr. Knight killed? Listen to yourself. What do you think I am, some kind of evil puppet master? You've seen me. I can barely even get the animals to do what I want. If you could find one of the letters he passed between Knight and Canis, that would prove the connection beyond a doubt. I'd like to have your room searched. I believe we might find... Letters? You won't. Trust me. What? Once I'm done with something, I put it straight in the trash. Guess I'm not the sentimental type. Why get hung up on the past, right? Ah! He must have disposed of any incriminating items in order to cover his tracks. Guess you went in without the evidence you needed once again, huh? That's a bad habit, you know. So this doesn't prove anything either? We've fallen short yet again! What do we do now? Are we out of options? You accuse me of betraying my friend and you don't even have any proof. You're despicable! Who was that? Oh, hi. Miss Berry? What does she want? Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about what you were saying, and this Knight person. You mean Bronco, right? Simeon's friend? Yes, what of it? Does she know something? A letter came from him this morning. For Simeon. What? What did you... How is that possible? Knight is dead! Miss Berry, we need to see this letter right away. Sure, here you go. Let's open it up, shall we? It's another correspondence chess letter! The next move from the game with Mr. Canis. Can anybody else smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you were never going to beat me. Not a chess. It's postmarked the 26th of March. The day before Knight died. I guess it must have gotten held up en route. Well, we do move around a lot as part of being a traveling circus. Our mail arrives late all the time. Interesting that it's addressed directly to you, Mr. Saint. Ah! This is it, isn't it? The proof we need is that you were the one facilitating Mr. Canis and Knight's games. One of the letters you would have transcribed into Braille in order to create the illusion that they were somehow connected. Curse you, Bronco! You're still getting in my way even now? I hate you! I hate you! Simeon, how could you? Mr. Knight was your only friend. Ha! We weren't friends! I stopped thinking he was my friend 18 years ago. Right around the time of the IS-7 incident, in other words. I nearly froze to death because of him. I was just about to head out and meet my dad at the contest, but then Bronco showed up. He pinned me down and tied me up. He was crying the whole time, whining on and on. I'm sorry, but my dad says I have to do this, and if I don't do what he says, he's so scary. Stop it, Bronco, stop it! I have to go meet my dad, I promised! If I'm not there to taste his candy for him, he'll be so upset. He needs me. If I don't go, he won't be able to show everybody he's the best in the world. But no, he locked me in that car with him, and the two of us nearly died. He thought he could get out, but when he tried the door, it was frozen shut. We were trapped. And that's how I lost my dad. What? You lost your dad? Yeah, Bronco's dad killed mine. He was the son of a murderer. What does he mean? That doesn't match up with what we know at all. Simeon, the victim in the IS-7 incident was a guy named Artie Frost. Yeah, that was my dad's name. My memories got kind of scrambled that day. What little I remembered was pretty mixed up, so I didn't find out until later that my dad was murdered. The murderer was a man named Carmelo Augusto, a confectioner. Really? I never knew Bronco's father's name. Or maybe I chose not to remember. Just thinking about the sicko that killed my dad turns my stomach. Mr. Saint, are you sure you didn't know the name of the murderer until just now? Do you think I'd sit on it if I did? No, I'd have reported it to the police straight away. All I knew was that Bronco's dad tricked my dad. And that's how I knew my dad was the one who was killed that day. Bronco was a traitor. He helped his father murder mine. He was the son of a cold-blooded killer. He deserves to die! I'm sorry, Mr. Saint, but you've made a mistake. A big one. A mistake? What do you mean? Artie Frost was a sculptor. He'd been working in France not so long before the murder, under the name Paul Halik. So I hear, but I don't remember anything about that. I wish I could. Well, I'm afraid it's only natural that you don't, because he wasn't your father. Huh? This is your idea of a joke? Well, it's not funny. Not at all. You're right, it's not, but you need to know the uncomfortable truth. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son. Hi, Wilbur. What? What? What is it? Can I help you? Sir, I'm trying to record. What is it? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my cat's wanting attention.
Take that!
Huh? Bronco's chess set. And a ring. Yes, take a look at the ring for me, if you would. What does the engraving on it tell you? It's 2 letters, right? It is. It's the seal with which Paul Halik used to mark his works, and it was found next to Artie Frost's body 18 years ago. But why would Bronco have a memento of my father? The police looked for Frost's son for a long time, and eventually they found him. The ring was handed over to the man they were able to prove was his child, Bronco Knight. What? But that's not... that would mean I was... Precisely. That you are, in fact, the son of Carmelo Gusto. No! That can't be! I'm... My dad was... I remember! Don't I? Bronco tied me up and locked me in that car! It was his fault I lost my dad! He deserved to die! Didn't he? No way. So I get to see your circus thing even though I'm in jail? I was looking forward to the next move in our little chess game. So the show is just the icing on top. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I will. And hey, come back soon, okay? I'll be mulling over my next move in the meantime. Oh, speaking of which, I put a little something in your chess set. We can take a look at it later. A little something? No idea what that might be, but thanks. If you hadn't detained me 18 years ago, it wouldn't have had to end like this. Huh? Did you say something? Me? Oh, it was nothing. Goodbye, Bronco, and farewell. I did all that, and now you're telling me that it was my father who killed Broncos? Then what was all this for? I didn't want to wind up dead too. I didn't want to be weak and vulnerable. That's why I tried to be like Canis. Why I stayed in touch with him all these years. And there we have it. The truth at last. Mr. Saint, you were Mr. Canis' correspondence chess partner. And you were the one manipulating events this whole time. You're right! It was me! It was me all along! At last, he's finally telling the truth. I was the one who witnessed the murder 12 years ago, but you knew that already. The president's assassination, just as we thought. Which means he's the one who drew the picture. And they knew it too. That's why LaGuard kept questioning me, day in and day out. It got so I couldn't face what I knew the next day would bring. I was a nervous wreck. Who could blame me for wanting to get out of there? But I imagine it wasn't as easy as simply running away. Winter would have sent his men after you. No matter where I went, they were on me. They never stopped coming. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't sleep at night. Even the smallest noise had me chasing shadows. It drove me crazy. So I joined the circus. At least that way, moving from place to place was part of the job. My whole life I've been up against the chief prosecutor and the warden of a prison. No regular person could hope to stand up to people like that. From the time I was a child, I had nobody. But they weren't even the worst of it. The body double was behind it all, controlling everything. He may have been a fake, but he was the president of an entire country. What hope did I have? There was only one person I could turn to. Canis, the man who saved my life. He wasn't like Bronco. He really did want to help me. That's quite a claim. Strange to think of our famously ruthless assassin winning the admiration of the child he saved. He showed me how to stop being a victim, to stop being hunted, and become a hunter myself, and they all became my prey. But I doubt even you imagine that the body double ever goes so far as to co-opt our country's police. No, 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 no. I sure didn't. And as long as Winter was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. Even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. McGuire almost got away with it again! And I know him now like the back of my hand. I can see exactly how it was going to all go down. So we saw right through their plan. How Chairman Winter would try to suppress the evidence and warn McGuire's trial. I see, and that's why you kidnapped Sean, correct? You wanted to force a guilty verdict regardless of the presence of evidence or the rule of law.
Objection!
Maybe I did, but how else was I going to make them pay for what happened 12 years ago? Hi, Wilbur. What? Whatever helps you sleep at night. But Winter pulled one last surprise, didn't he? He tried to kidnap Sean himself in the hope of influencing the verdict. In other words, you chose the exact same course of action as the man you so fervently claim to hate. That's only if I had actually kidnapped anyone at all. But I'd never do anything so wicked. Never ever. Me commit a crime? No. And besides, I don't hate the three of them. If anything, I'm grateful. If they hadn't done what they did, my revenge wouldn't have been nearly as fun.
Objection!
So you admit it. Your motive in all of this was nothing more than revenge? Sure, I admit it. So what? I despised every single one of them. But here's the kicker. I didn't kill anybody. The most you can blame me for is writing the odd letter here and there. A quick note to ring her to tell her about Winter, another to him so he knew about her. But the fact that they wanted to kill each other, and one of them succeeded, that was all on them. So you take no responsibility for the fact that your actions have resulted in multiple murders? Right! Same thing at Gourd Lake. People are much easier to control than animals, you know. The whole fake assassination plot, I handed that to Bronco on a plate. That was part of his plan, too? So Rook's murder was... No. That was all Bronco's idea. Nothing to do with me at all. Still, it moved things in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Isn't fate a crazy thing? You can't talk like that about a murder. Setting LaGuard up was easy, too. I just made it seem like Knight and Canis were in contact with each other. And slipped the chisel inside the chess set. So it was you who put it in there! Yes, it was! I thought that might point everybody nicely in Canis' direction. Worked out pretty well, even if I do say so myself. Who knew that would be all it took to make that awful woman murder poor Bronco? I guess she got to where she just saw enemies everywhere she looked. I know the feeling. Even the smallest thing can send your paranoia into overdrive. And then, things get ugly. Quickly. I had a front row seat for the whole show! You were the last piece to be put into play, of course. Who, me? You solved both cases and finally brought down Winter and LaGuard. I guess you could say your powers of deduction were the weapon that put an end to them both. I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Sure, you didn't know you were doing me a favor. You were just playing at being an attorney for a little while, right? What did you say? All I had to do was cower and say, no, a few times. And you rode to my rescue like the hero you are. Was getting arrested part of your plan, too? No, that wasn't something I expected, I have to admit. I never thought they'd take the chisel for the murder weapon. That was a real plot twist. Made my blood run cold, for sure. But then who should come through with the turnabout to end all turnabouts? The greatest legal mind of his generation, my knight in shining armor. I bet it felt pretty good saving me like that, huh? You ought to thank me, you know. I don't do that for many people. You're wrong. He wasn't playing at being an attorney. He was trying to help you, because helping people is what Mr. Edgeworth does. He helped me, right when I needed it most. Hey. Aw, did he? You're sure he wasn't trying on his dear departed daddy's shoes for size? No, that's not what he was doing. Come on, K-Meister, don't let this clown get you down. He's projecting, plain and simple. Painting other folks with his own grubby brush. It's not just that he doesn't trust other people. The poor kid doesn't even understand the concept. Doing something for somebody else's sake, forget about it. He'll never understand. You think I care what you have to say about me? Consider this for a second. I've gotten my revenge on everybody I set out to get it from. And yet, you can't prove I incited anything. Think about it. I never actually did anything. What's my crime exactly? Explain it to me. You think you can pin an incitement charge on me? Read my letters. I don't mention murder anywhere. If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove I did anything at all. That's not true. You kidnapped me. Sorry, but then I missed the part where you proved that. All I ever admitted to was sending letters. Letters which didn't threaten, coerce, or encourage anybody to do anything. I just passed on what you might call pertinent information. He's a slippery one, I'll give him that. Hi, Wilbur. There's gotta be something we can do. What about this? Excitement stuff he's talking about. Incitement, okay? It means to encourage or direct another person to commit a crime. In the eyes of the law, it's seen as equivalent to committing the crime itself. So then we just need to prove that he told them to do it. You say that like it's gonna be easy. Guess maybe you're not so big on due process after all. You think you can make me carry the can for murders I had nothing to do with? Think again. I don't even have to talk to you if I don't want to. In fact, why am I still talking to you?
Not so fast!
I can think of one reason. The tent is surrounded. There's nowhere left to run. Really? You don't think I planned my escape too? What if, just to pluck an idea out of nowhere, I trained all of these vicious wild beasts to attack on command, for example? All I have to do is say the word, then sidle off stage into chaos. What? You wouldn't. I'm just spitballing. But you'd pay to see that, wouldn't you? I could just as easily take Sean hostage with the gun I may or may not have in my pocket. Yeah, you know what? That would make for a killer show. You will do no such thing. It's hard to know what lengths he might actually be prepared to go to. But knowing what we know about him already, we have to be prepared for the worst. Fine, I'll humor you. But once the curtain goes up on this little performance, it better be a lively one. Bore me, and we're done here, all right? Let's see if you can keep me entertained, shall we? He's not going to give me an inch. Well, there must be something we could do. We can't let his crimes go unpunished. What stood out like a sore thumb? Can't prove it, huh?
Objection!
I disagree. I can prove it. I'm afraid you're wrong. I have proof that you meant for at least one murder to happen, because you said so yourself. Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made Big Bad Chairman Winter kill Little Miss Rosie Raider. What? I said that? Weird, I don't remember. I know you think you can worm your way out of everything, but this time you're wrong. I am? Yes, because our conversation was being recorded by somebody intercepting the signal from the very listening device you planted. It was? You got your conversation with the clown here on tape? That's what you're trying to tell us? No! Lang Z says, a schemer schemes will swallow him in the end. Miss Lloyd, could you place the tape, please? You bet I can. Got it. It was this part right here. Mr. Edgeworth, that's Judge Gavel's cell phone. Who is this? You're the one who abducted Kay. I can't hear, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. He was right around here. I was as surprised as... Oh, huh? That's weird. Is something wrong, Miss Lloyd? I'll say. Seems we maybe didn't quite catch the next part on tape. What? Why? How could it not be on there? Ah, poor babies. You think I'd leave myself wide open like that? Well, think again. There's something a little special about that bug, you see. It can be turned on and off remotely. What? I never knew they make those! Remote control bugs? Sure they exist, but... So you switch it off to avoid being recorded. Bingo! But how? You would have had to know you were being recorded in the first place! And I did! Of course I did! It was so obvious that someone was eavesdropping. And that's because, Miss Lloyd, was it? You knew about the prosecutor's kidnapping without any prompting. No! You heard that whole conversation? I did indeed, old pal. But I must say, I thought you would have figured it all out much sooner. Aren't you supposed to be a genius, prosecutor? Huh? Now, where were we again? Oh yeah, at the part where if you couldn't prove incitement, it was game over. Well. Oh shucks, so my tape ain't gonna be of no use to nobody after all? Come on, I must have recorded something you can use. If only that were true. Hey, K-Meister. Yeah? The old bugaroo. It was hidden in your pin that whole time, right? Did that shake anything loose from the old brain tea? Oh no, give me a sec to think. You're the only one who's been directly in contact with him before. So sad, relying on flawed evidence. Desperately trying to make it stick. Well, that's quite enough of that for now. Next topic, please. Huh? He's trying to steer us away from our current line of inquiry. You're the only one who's been directly in contact with him before. Kay had a one-to-one encounter with him only recently. What if the sound from that point in time had been recorded? Miss Lloyd, how long were you recording the intercepts from the bug for? Started about, let's see now, 2 nights back? In which case, during which time frame would we be likely to find Mr. Saint's voice on that tape? 2 nights ago. Mr. Saint abducted Kay and took her up to the roof of the big building 2 nights ago. What if there was a recording from around that time? Miss Lloyd, quickly, play us any tape you have from the night before last. Huh? Oh, sure thing. But that's the sound of the balloon! Indeed it is. And around that time, I imagine Mr. Saint would have been transporting you in it. Which means he can't have been too far away from you. Or the bug. Is there anything else on the recording, I wonder? Wait, that noise! That was a gunshot! You turned the bug off then too, it seems. Unluckily for you, you were a little late in doing so. There's no escaping it now. That gunshot ties you directly to the case. Huh? What are you talking about? Nobody ever even mentioned the gun! He's wrong. Somebody involved with this case discharged a firearm. I just need to remember who it was and present the piece of evidence that proves it. Which piece of evidence shows that a gun was used in an incident related to this case? Oh, right! The president! He had gunpowder residue on his hand! It's written right here in the president's autopsy report. Traces of gunshot residue were detected on his hand. And where was Kay when the gunshot was recorded? That's right, she was in the balloon, being taken by you to the top of the big building. However, the roof wasn't as deserted as you needed it to be. Yes, I was there with the president. Wait, not long after we started talking, he noticed something and told me to leave. But if a gunshot rang out shortly after that, don't tell me you didn't hear it yourself, Mr. Saint. Not when it sounds crystal clear in this recording. You're just going to pretend to ignore me? What else do you expect me to do when you keep spouting your weird theories? We didn't just hear a gunshot on that tape. And if you listen carefully, you can hear that the bullet hit something too. Could the president have been aiming at Mr. Saint? What would the bullet have struck? What would have had hit? What would it have hit? If he was aiming at Mr. Saint, wouldn't it have hit the balloon?
Take that!
I think the president was firing at the balloon. And if he was, what we heard on that tape could have been the bullet hitting the basket. Let's take a look and see, shall we? Aha! Hello! A hole! With a bullet stuck in it! There's a bullet hole in the bottom of the basket. I'd call that pretty conclusive proof. Ah! Well, Mr. Saint, how do you explain not just the sound on the tape, but the accompanying bullet hole? You see everything, don't you? It's pretty impressive, I have to admit. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I need a drink. Luckily, I have some of my juice still left over. I need water because that's not because speaking, giving Saint a voice is kind of rough on the. What? What? Sorry, I'm distracted by my cat. I'm in the kitchen right now, and there's an old stool that I used to keep inside my room a long time ago. There's no room in my room for it now. I keep it sitting in the living room, which is directly connected to the kitchen, and he's sitting on it. He likes getting attention while sitting on this stool. Oh, that's a good cold water. Good cold water. I doubt there's anything I could hide from you if you really wanted to find it. Just shut up and confess, will you? All right. No need to get cranky. What really happened 2 nights ago? I'll admit I flew the balloon up to the roof. When I arrived, Judge Cavell and the president were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. Only the president noticed me and he made the good judge leave right away. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired. But why was he trying to shoot down the balloon? Oh, that's simple enough. When I arrived, he was just about to murder your friend, the judge here. Me? Yeah, you! You told him about Sean. What did you think would happen? Why do you think he met with you in the first place? He thought you were going to expose him as an imposter. Because she knew the truth about Sean's parentage. He was afraid. Ha! Afraid. Yeah, you could say that. The man was a total coward. His hands were shaking so much when he tried to get rid of me, he couldn't even shoot straight. So you see, I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was an innocent bystander. Oh, here he comes. Hi, Wilbur. I'll admit I flew the balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived, Judge Cavell and the president were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. Only the president noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired.
Hold it!
Tell me more about this. You're lucky that the bullet only struck the bottom of the basket. Yeah, I tried to get out of there the second he pulled out that gun. Couldn't have my balloon going pop. But it was a close run thing. So you left right there and then there? Of course I did. He was shooting at me. He's saying there's a problem with that. Does that present a problem? There is a problem. In the end, you managed to leave Kay there up on that rooftop. Which means you didn't actually leave the vicinity, did you? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you the next part. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. I hung around a little longer to make sure the coast was clear, then I landed on the roof. Would you mind appending that statement to your testimony? Makes no difference to me. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. Really? Did he really do that? Miss Hart, you said something about that. You're lying to us again. I am. The president never entered the storeroom the night before last. Miss Hart testified to that fact. What? And you believe the word of a 2-bit hack over mine? I beg your gosh dang pardon? Say that about the chief again, I dare you. I'll wipe that smile right off of your stupid clown face. So we know Hart was camped out on the 51st floor that entire evening. But if our fake president didn't escape through there, then how the heck did he get off the roof? An excellent question, and one that I hope to provide the answer to next. We know that he didn't leave via the elevator, so neither did that nor the hatch are possibilities, which leaves only one possible way of escaping that rooftop: the balloon! How did the president leave the rooftop if it wasn't via the elevator or the hatch? The balloon!
Take that!
He flew. He flew? Yes, and it's the same balloon! Whoa, 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 quit fooling around, will you? Why in the world would I give that guy a lift in my balloon? There was a security camera on the elevator, and Miss Hart was on the 51st floor the whole time. There's no other way he could have left that rooftop. You know what the circus is all about? Making the audience think you're in danger. Giving them a thrill. It's time to bring this act to an end. I'm not in danger here, even if you think I am. What do you mean? Watch and learn. Miss Hart, can I ask you something? You were keeping guard at the 51st floor the whole time, right? Never even blinking for a moment? You bet your big toe I was. I haven't said as much in my testimony. Huh. So the noise, the sound of Miles' faithful assistant falling through the hatch, that didn't scare you so badly that you fainted? So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out. Unconscious, you might say. What? What happened? That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart, because the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. What? Well, so what if it did? Ain't a girl in the world don't get caught a little unaware sometimes. Sorry, Miles. That's what you get for putting your faith in it. It doesn't matter. Kay can't have fallen down the hatch until after the president left the roof. Are you sure about that? Allow me to offer a little counter theory. The coward fake president fired his gun at me. Then he hid in the shadows until after your friend fell down that hatch. What? So what if he did? What would that mean? Come now. Surely even you can see what I'm insinuating here. It's elementary. If the president hid until after Miss Hart fainted, he could have passed right through the 51st floor undetected. No! And there we have it. Your little theory about the secret storeroom falls apart. No! You have to do that to me in my own voice? That's right! Oh, and another thing. I might have let Sean's identity slip to our pal the president while he was hiding in the shadows. That's why he went through the set to try and murder him the next day, only to wind up being killed himself. That's right! It was Sean who murdered the body double. What possible reason could the boy have for doing so? Oh, a pretty good one. He already knew he was the president's son. And how did he discover that exactly? Because I told him in one of my trademark letters. What? He's lying! Oh, you bet I am. Huh? Or am I? Maybe I did tell him, and maybe I didn't. Well, Shiny Boy, which is it? It was my fault that the Torosaurus head fell off that roof. I admitted that much already, but I didn't find out about my dad until today, I swear. Huh. Well, well, well. I knew about the falling head thanks to the bug. But who knew it was you who made it fall? And the president died from being crushed, was it? Ah! Alright, well that's confirmed at least. You were the murderer. Congrats on getting your revenge! That ties everything up pretty neatly, wouldn't you say? Although I guess you'd say something more like, and so the pieces fall into place at last. Well, counter my unassailable logic if you can. The murder of the so-called president. You know my MO by now, right? I'm a hands-off kind of guy. I just like to pull a few strings here and there. That was the case with Bronco, with Chairman Winter. So what makes you think I'd let that fake president set foot on my balloon? Besides, I thought he was crushed to death by that model monster head. And who said old Taurosaurus' noggin had fallen, It all makes perfect sense. That's how our imposter wound up dead, no doubt about it. And what was the motive behind the murder? The little truth I shared, just like I said. Get it? The truth. That thing you're so fond of? That's what caused the murder here, not me. No, that's not possible. Well, is there a detective in the house? Somebody arrest that boy. Can't help but noticing nobody rushing to slap on the handcuffs. What's the matter? Curse you! Just as I thought. Admit it, you're all the same. You, Winter, that idiot phony president. You want the real culprit to go free so you can railroad me into a jail cell, don't you? That's the justice you all claim to love so much. You only love it when you get twisted to suit your needs. That's not true! Ha! Well, if you're not going to make the move, guess I'll have to step outside and speak to an officer myself. Once I tell them the kid's here is a murderer, maybe then they'll finally do something. We're not done with your testimony yet, Mr. Saint. How did I know you'd make some excuse for stalling even longer? But you still don't have any proof, do you? Or any chance of winning this? Tell me I'm wrong. And yet you still want to prolong the agony. But as long as you know what you're doing. Holy... Ah! He's not holding back! What? Did you forget that little Shawnee's life is on the lifeline too? Hey, Mother-Noroi. Take a deep breath for me, would you? Why would I do that, Fender? Because it's times like these you need to kick back, take stock, and be grateful for what you have. The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show our biggest smiles, remember? The way in which the president made his escape is what you and Laughing Boy can't agree on. So how about this for a little thought experiment? What if it's not about whether the big guy in the purple jacket got on that balloon or not, but rather, under what conditions would Simeon have been cool with letting him get on board? A turnabout in thinking. Forgive the interruption, just my 2 cents worth. Or your old man's, I guess I should say. Maybe Gregory's techniques can still prove as useful in this crazy modern era. He's right. Under what circumstances could the body double have been allowed on that balloon? He was a physically imposing man, and what's more, he was carrying a gun. Would he have been drugged? No, there were no traces of sedatives found during his autopsy. In which case... Surely not! Are you about ready to continue, Miles? And don't forget, this is what we're playing for! This is going to be tricky, but I have to tear his testimony down, one statement at a time. You know my MO by now, right? I'm a hands-off kind of guy. I just like to pull a few strings here and there. That was the case with Bronco, with Chairman Winter. So what makes you think I'd let that fake president set foot on my balloon? Besides, I thought he was crushed to death by that model monster head. Wait, that would mean that he was not crushed by the head. He had to have been crushed by the hot air balloon, yeah?
Objection!
Sean didn't kill the president. The president was crushed by a monster. What? Did you really just say that? You! Oh, I get it. He's the kid who can communicate with giant beasts, right? Did he use his special powers? The only person in communion with monsters was you. Sorry, but you must have me mixed up with somebody else. No monster pals here, I'm afraid. Why the false modesty? You're very close with at least one such creature. In fact, you can make this particular monster do exactly as you command. It was you who killed the president, Mr. Saint, and I can prove it! What? You're talking about the lion balloon? Yes, a quivering mockery of a monster filled with hot air, but a monster nonetheless, not entirely unlike Mr. Saint himself. Sorry, you lost me. What are you trying to say exactly? seem very keen to stick to your story about having manipulated Sean and the president. But no matter how true you may have wanted it to be, that was nothing more than a desperate lie. Even the most skilled animal tamer can't make the dead do his bidding. And the president was dead long before he left that roof, having been killed by your balloon. Ooh. I get it. That thing may look lighter than air, but it weighs a few hundred pounds, right? When the president attacked you from the roof, you had to think quickly in order to protect yourself. The method you chose? Landing the balloon right on top of him. You didn't need to let him ride on that balloon, and he didn't need to coerce you into taking him, because what you took away was his dead body. Wait a minute now, Miles. If what you're saying is true, the president would have been killed 2 nights ago, which would mean the time of death recorded in the autopsy was wrong. It would? Wow, you're really losing your touch. Look again, it's written right there. Time of death, April 5th at approximately 11 p.m. Clear as day! Ah! April 5th? That was yesterday! Which means... Exactly. It means he died when the Torosaurus head fell off of that roof. Alright, Sean, it's time to be honest with us all. You know it's the right thing to do. You killed your daddy, didn't you? You hated him, didn't you? We get it. Who wouldn't? He just left you. What kind of a father would do that? And no, that's not what happened. I already told you. I didn't know who he was until today. Oh, but you did know, because I told you myself. Ah! Can my theory really have been so wide off the mark? I want to thank you once again, Miles. You hounded Winter and LaGuard until their crimes were finally exposed. And by ruining them both, you helped me get my revenge. Gotta love those powers of deduction. If the time of death matched up, everything else would fit. So, could he possibly have cheated the time of death somehow? Oh, and what was the other guy's name again? Carmelo Gusto? You even ran him down for me. That was some great work you did there. Of course. Gusto, the I-7 incident. He killed Frost and froze his body in order to conceal it. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect. Bingo! I only wish I could have been there to see his downfall, too. How can you say that? He was your father! It's so scary. Miss LaGuard just keeps asking and asking about what happened that day. Where are you, Dad? When are you coming to get me? Please, I need you to come take me away. Is it because I broke my promise? Because I didn't show up in time to help you taste your work? He was no father. He left me all on my own. What kind of person would do that? We may have shared the same blood, but that's it. Father, what a joke! You may not want to hear this, Mr. Saint, but you share more than blood. Hate him all you like, but you're more like your father than you know. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Fate can be strange sometimes, but this was no coincidence. You and your father were the same, even in the methods you chose. You deliberately threw off the time of death just as he did. That's right! We had to rescue him from a warehouse refrigeration unit down by the harbor. A refrigeration unit in a depot? I threw off the time of death. And how did I do that exactly? By hiding the president's body in a very specific place. You hid the body right here.
Take that!
At the depot. You needed to keep the body cool somewhere, and you also needed somewhere to keep Sean. Who knew that the two were connected? You're talking about the kidnapping again? Why are we bringing that up now? As much as you may wish we had forgotten, you know that you kept Sean in the refrigeration unit. The same refrigeration unit in which you kept the president's body. Just as your father froze the body he was trying to conceal 18 years ago. What? You're saying I'm the same as him? The same as the animal who abandoned me? A sad irony, but an undeniable truth nonetheless. Shut up! I'm nothing like him! I can never be like him! He's nothing to do with me, and we're nothing alike! Sorry, kiddo, but I think it's pretty clear that you and old Gusto have more than a little in common. You even told us you didn't like sweet stuff way back when we first met, right? That's not a product of your daddy issues. I don't know what is. You don't understand. You have tried to disown your father, but he lives on in everything you do. You think the same way. And you're every bit as prepared as he was to sacrifice others in order to protect yourself. Your crimes were even exposed in the same manner. You couldn't be more similar. Or should I say, I don't know anything about a refrigeration unit. And the kidnapping? Nothing to do with me. Nonsense! You did it so you could blackmail Judge Cavell. We know for a fact you were involved. You're a real danger to be around, you know that, Miles. What aren't you going to accuse me of? It changes nothing. You still don't have any proof of incitement, of kidnapping, of anything. Oh wait, or are you planning on maybe fabricating some? Taking a leaf out of the old winner playbook? No, never! I would never do that! Kept myself rise to the provocation. What was the line? No matter what happens, we must find the truth. Something like that. Ha! But only when the truth suits you, huh? That's how the law keeps people down, isn't it? And why I had to get my revenge myself. I got away with it! I got away with it all! Laquard, Winter, and now you! None of you can touch me! This is bad, Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't there anything we could do? Everything points to this man being our culprit. But we need evidence, even just one piece. Alright, it's been fun, but it's time we brought this little show to an end, don't you think? Stick around for the main event, though, would you? Won't you? I'll even let you in for free, if you'll finally admit defeat. Who was that? Gumshoe! Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Gummy, where have you been? I've been doing my job, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me. And Detective Gumshoe, do you have anything to report? I had them look into a few things real quick, sir. About the refrigeration unit where the kid was kept. It was registered to the Very Big Circus, just like you said. Ha ha! And there it is, just in the nick of time. Excellent work, Detective. Well, Mr. Saint? Must be some kind of mistake. Why would a circus need a refrigeration unit? A valid question, I suppose. But we're no experts on the circus trade. Perhaps we could ask your department manager for her thoughts on the matter. Well, Miss Fairy? We do hire a unit to store all the food for the animals. I don't know where it is. I leave all that to Simeon. He's so good at that kind of thing. Ah! You fool! Simeon, you're scaring me! Such a shame. Rushing to find a solution after the fact so often leads to mistakes. You knew that if the body was found in the unit, suspicion would fall on you. So you panicked and moved it to the grounds of the big building instead. Ah! But you weren't counting on Sean being found in the unit when you kidnapped him. If only you'd known you were up against a great thief and an even greater detective. Is everything alright? You're looking a little pale. Don't think you've won just yet, Miles. You're missing proof from the most important part of your little theory. I am? Perhaps you could enlighten us. You don't have any evidence that I crushed the presidential faker with that balloon. And I know you don't, because there isn't any. I'm afraid there is. What? If Mr. Saint murdered the victim as we think he did, there should be traces of your misdeed on this piece of evidence.
Take that!
Here, we'll find traces. Oh! I'm not sure why you're showing me that right now. Are you okay, Mr. Genius Prosecutor? You don't actually believe we'll find anything on that, do you? That didn't work? Simeon killed the fake president by landing on him with the balloon, right? So, indeed, that is where we will find our answers. No good, Miles. No evidence after all? Shame. I wish that were the case, but I'm afraid you would be wrong. I have proof, Mr. Saint, and I'm about to show it to you. There should be traces of your misdeed on this piece of evidence. Wouldn't it? It would be a balloon, yeah?
Take that!
And now it says the balloon basket should turn out the evidence we need. The balloon again! You already have your bullet hole! What else do you expect to find? We, expect to find plenty, actually. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? If there's truth to be found, then he'll find it. He's a hero of justice. He sure is! We'll find something for sure. Mr. Edgeworth has gotten out of way tighter spots than this one. What they said. We believe in you, Miles Areno. And so does your pop. He's looking down on you right now. I know he is. Just stay calm and see this through to the end, Miles Edgeworth. A perfect victory is only moments away. The president's body double was killed by the balloon. Traces of a certain substance will prove that. And you, Simeon Saint, will pay for your crimes at last. I'm looking forward to this. Time to wrap up the mysteries of past and present once and for all. Please, Miss Edgeworth, deal the final blow to this unforgivably wicked man. This last piece of evidence will prove your guilt beyond a doubt. What should we expect to find on the balloon if it was used to crush the president? Now we present the flowers.
Take that!
When Sean found the president's body, he also found a bouquet of lion lilies. Lion lilies, symbol of the connection between parent and child. A popular flower back in Shangfa. That's your proof? A bunch of flowers that will be rotting at the dump by now? A bunch of flowers that Sean threw away? So much for your beautiful symbol of parental connection. That's got nothing to do with any of this. Ignore him, Sean. He threw those flowers away, that much is true. But the bond they represented remains as strong as it ever was. The president held on to them until the last, an act which provided us with our final piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about? The flowers Sean disposed of has been squashed flat. They must have been crushed by the balloon. If we examine the basket for traces of lion lily pollen, what do you think we might find? No, you don't need to do that. You looked over the basket just now. Anyway, if there was pollen stuck to it, you would have seen it. Those flowers are bright yellow. Not all evidence is visible to the naked eye, Mr. Saint. Huh? Emma! Yeah? I'd like to call on your scientific skills once again, if you don't mind. Leave it to me! Alright, let's take a look at this balloon basket, shall we? Ah! I've got something! Bright yellow pollen, just like you said! If it's from the same flowers, it shouldn't take more than another quick test to prove it. What? And there we have it. You murdered the president, and this murder you carried out yourself! No! How could this... No! You crushed the president with that balloon. Then you loaded his body into the basket and took him to the refrigeration unit. But why? Why go to the trouble of removing the body? Because he knew another incident was scheduled to occur that same evening. Oh, was he Ringer's murder? Exactly. If you had left the body there, it would have interfered with his other plans. I get it. And he couldn't leave the body in the refrigeration unit for too long either, right? Indeed not. So while returning to the big building to drop the body off again the following night, he must have observed the fire Sean caused and the Torosaurus head falling as a result. That's what gave you the idea, wasn't it? To frame Sean for the murder? Yeah! You made it seem as if the falling head was what killed him so that my son would take the blame. Despicable coward! In order to achieve your aim, you lowered the president's body from the balloon to the lot below. And while he was dangling from the rope you used, he was caught on Sean's rehearsal tape. No! How did you see through it all? How? You manipulated people, and you manipulated this case, just as you manipulate animals on the stage. You thought you were all-powerful, but as your reign is at an end. The animals look like they're mad with you, Simeon. Even Money and Isaiah. They thought you were their friend, but you're not. They're sad and mad all at the same time. Stop it! Stop looking at me like that! As they will when you finally stop clowning around. You're not cut out for comedy. Your tale is destined to end with a whimper! I don't... Get away from me! Get away from me! Leave me alone! Dad, where are you? I'm so scared. I don't know what you're talking about. I've done nothing wrong. Nothing. I'm not the bad one, they are. Why, Bronco? Why did you stop me from going to see my dad? If only none of them did what they did, I wouldn't have had to. I couldn't trust the police. I couldn't trust anybody. I was all alone, with nobody to help me. But that man, he helped me. Candace was the only one who ever helped me. So what if I used people? I had to. Is that so wrong? You know, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Ow! That hurts! Stop it! No! Ah! No! No! He is getting bodied! It seems the game is up at last. Up at last. The killer! Mr. Edgeworth, may I be the first to congratulate you. You have unmasked the person behind this entire sorry affair. Now I am free to... No! Guns are so clumsy, don't you find? I don't have a gun. Please, not only are you carrying one, you were just about to draw it. He must have stolen it from the president after murdering him. This gentleman betrayed the bond of trust. He knew the so-called president was an imposter, and he employed me to kill him nonetheless. There is nothing more dangerous for an assassin than to be lied about the nature of one's target. If one does not know what cards one's opponent is holding, one can be very unpleasantly surprised. But that was not your true crime. No, thinking you could deceive me, manipulate me. That is the crime for which you are about to pay. No! Oh. You! It's been a while, Tequila. Step aside, Canis. That man is my target. I would politely ask that you call off this particular job. He'll pay for his crimes, but in prison, not at the end of your blade. And if I refuse? Let us just say that I might not take the loss of the one life that I ever saved too well. You? Save a life? Bought it Canis, the blind butcher himself. Preposterous, I know. But yes, I, who have taken so many lives, once chose to preserve one. That of an innocent young pup. And he in his turn saved mine. Something of a bond formed between us. Laugh all you like, I know I would. But I would respectfully request that you spare it. As one professional to another, I ask that you let this particular target live. Very well. The boy must mean a lot to you. Thank you. I am in your debt. You need not thank me. I simply see little point in the two of us killing one another. Now then, I bid you all good day. No! Get back here! You have my thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. The young pup needed to be shown the error of his ways, and you have done just that. Alright, I suppose we'd better be getting back. Our ironclad enclosure awaits. Doesn't it, Helmut? Yes, yes it does. Oh, hello. You killed my dad, didn't you, old man? I will not lie, I did. My victims deserve to be remembered at the very least. But I sense a great hatred from you, horn pup. In that case... Sean, no! You must not falter, little one. Here, you may use my knife. Take it. It cuts my throat. One short slice is all it takes. I was growing rather tired of carving my little statues anyway. I want revenge. I want it so badly. Sean, don't do it! Please, Sean! I beg of you! At least, I did until just now. I would have done anything to make you pay, no matter how long it took. Oh, but you should make those who have wronged you pay. It'll make you feel so good, trust me. All the pain, all the suffering, it all goes away. It drowns it all out, numbs it. Maybe it does. And listening to you, I thought maybe that's what I wanted. Sean! But it's not just about me. Say I get my revenge. How does that help anybody else? If I become a murderer, my mom suffers 10 times more than I ever would. And so would all the people I work with. They're counting on me, and they worry about me. Thoughtful words indeed, little one. Yeah? Well, I get it now. I won't ever forgive you. But I shouldn't be the one who gets to punish you. That's what these guys are for. My mom, the prosecutor, people like that. Sean! Wow, you may be young, Sean, but you're way wiser than I'll ever be. You could at least consider trying to better yourself, Kay. Very well. I suppose we'll be on our way. With me, young pup. On our way? To where? Where else? To the prison. Our home. Our home? And with that, the case came to an end. A case that had dragged so many people into its orbit. But as for me, there was one last thing I had to do. April 8, 2:54 p.m., Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, Chamber. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth. What's the big idea, big guy? Want to tell us what we're doing here? Mr. Edgeworth, your request has been processed and approved. Huh? Your what now? I've asked for my prosecutor's badge to be reinstated. Your badge? What is the meaning of this? I am returning it. From this day forward, I'm a prosecutor no longer. I still can't believe you did that for me. A certain man once said that to be an attorney is to be a defendant's most trusted ally, and that by believing in your client, the truth will make itself known. That man's image has been forever burned into my memory, as strongly as the vision of my father fighting in the courtroom. Good old Gregory. But that's his and my father's path. Mine lies elsewhere. Mr. Edgeworth, my path is that of the prosecutor. It always was. Well, I guess that's that. I'm sorry. No. I dig it. And besides, I can tell by that look in your eye that your mind's made up. It is. Alright then. Looks like our work together is diddly done. Just don't come crying to old Eddie if you change your mind. This club's now closed to new members. I understand. Hey, Milester. Care to tell me why at least? How come you're so dead set on popping the old prosecutor's hat back on? You once asked me something, Fender. Are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you've got a big decision ahead of you. Only one you can answer. I've been thinking about that question ever since. About how I mean to live my life. And now that this case is over, I think I finally know the answer. I'm going to help people as a prosecutor. But can't you also do that as an attorney? Look at it this way. Senior Saint was also a victim of sorts. He lost his only parent all those years ago, and with him, his ability to believe in a just world. I know how that feels. To lose somebody so important to you, to lose faith in everything. To doubt everything and be utterly alone, to fight and fight and fight. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty, so I make that my policy. When I was lucky, somebody was kind enough to save me from myself. Mr. Saint had nobody. He had no faith in the law. He felt that seeking revenge himself was the only option. But I doubt even you imagine that the body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police. No, I sure didn't. And as long as Winter was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. He even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. LeGuard almost got away with it again! I want to help people like him. And how do you plan to do that? If he had been able to rely upon the law, none of this would have happened. Chairman Winter made a mockery of justice, and in so doing, drove Mr. Saint away from seeking it. The law is only as good as its practitioners. It can be a shield that keeps people safe from harm, or a sword wielded to wound them. Just one among many of the law's great contradictions. You can say that again. Yep, it's what we folks in the trade like to call a legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect. But one cannot solve such contradictions in the law without engaging with it. I don't think an attorney could have saved Mr. Saint. But a prosecutor, a custodian of the law, I think perhaps they could have. I plan to take up my badge again and confront those contradictions at every turn. Very Malzarino. I like it. You know it won't be easy breezy though, right? Fighting the law itself, that's lawyering on hard mode. I understand that, but somebody has to do it. Oh, I don't doubt that. And if it has to be anybody, it should be you. Laws are like people, I guess. They both gotta grow and change. Adapt or perish, am I right? You're going to smash this, I just know it. After all, you're Gregory's boy through and through. And if there's one thing that man did not know how to do, it's give up. Eyes on the prize and straight on till sunset. That was his motto. You know what? I saw that same determination on your face the second you mentioned taking up prosecutoring again. You know what's really grown and changed? Hate to be a great big cheeseball, but you. Only wish your dad was here to see it. He'd be proud as all get out. Fender, thank you. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, if you're ready to begin, we can get the ceremony underway. Please. By the power vested in me by the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, I, Verity Gavel, do hereby in the sight of the Almighty Goddess, reinstate Miles Edgeworth as a servant of the law. All right, you're a prosecutor again! Best news I've heard all week, sir! Well, Mr. Prosecutor, I got a scoop. Your pops is going to want to know that his kid just signed up for the opposition a second time. Thank you again, Fender, for everything. Don't thank me yet. Next time you see me could be across the courtroom. And this face is a whole lot less roguishly charming when it's not on your side of the aisle. I would relish the opportunity to face an attorney trained by my father. I hope that day comes very soon. Alrighty, Fender out! Welcome back into the fold, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thank you, Judge Gavelle. I owe you more than I can say. You do? You strove to right the wrongs of the committee from the inside. That must have been a lonely battle indeed. Not at all. I was never truly alone. That's right! You had the Goddess of Justice on your side! Thank you for teaching me that it's possible to fight in such a way. The contradictions within the committee are like those within the legal system itself. If we aren't able to overcome them, the real truth will forever evade us. I have you to thank for teaching me that, and for setting me on this path. I hereby swear to confront the contradictions that afflict the law, and to overcome them. And I thank you for your commitment to that cause, as does the Almighty Goddess. I truly believe that such efforts are necessary in order for the law to grow and improve. I will look forward to seeing you in the courtroom again soon. As will I. You did not see the best of me when I last oversaw a trial. The next time will be different. I will show you what it means to serve justice with true impartiality. Judge Gavelle, I don't mean to call your motivation into question. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? But, to my mind, the ideal judge is not wholly impartial. The ideal judge is human. Even in the courtroom, they laugh, they cry, they rage, they smile. And then, when all is said and done, they pass down a judgment based on that very humanity. I'm not sure exactly how to put this. But perfection isn't always the loftiest of ideals, and it's certainly not the only thing to strive for. Forgive me. This is my opinion. Nothing more. You are right, of course. There are other ways. I thank you for sharing your insights. Mr. Edgeworth, there's another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winter. Someone else was with me. Someone other than the goddess. Of course! Sean! This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having it near me and near gave me hope. No matter how hard things get, no matter how formidable one's opponent, when we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going, no matter how hard the road ahead. Mistakes have been made, but we must fix them, for Sean's sake more than anyone's. Like the mistakes made in the incident in which his father died. So you see, there is something more important even to me than the words of the goddess. So it may anger her to hear me say such things. But that was your secret weapon all along, the strength of your bond with your son. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps I should not strive for an unachievable perfection, but I must grow as a servant of the law and as a mother. That I believe above all else. I see. It seems that we both have plenty still to learn. Indeed, we are neither of us perfect yet. Let us continue along our chosen paths and continue to grow as we tread them until we meet again. Whoop. I will look forward to that day. May the goddess watch over you as you embark upon the next step of your journey. What are you doing back there? I lost the title of prosecutor, but now I've regained it, and in so doing I've seen a new way forward, a new path for justice. I am determined to follow that path until it finally leads me to the truth. No matter how hard it might be, no matter what obstacles arise, woe betide... Why is it going by so fast?
Objection!
Whew! It's over! It's done! Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is finally concluded! So what does that mean for the channel? Right now, I'm going to focus on playing games that I'm wanting to have fun with. So you'll probably see me upload a few videos of Ultra Rumble, a few videos of Gangster Squadra, and a few videos of Marvel Rivals until we get to the third, which means tomorrow I will be uploading something else, but on the 3rd we will begin our Let's Play, a Digimon Story Time Stranger. So I'm going to let the credits roll, and then we shall finally conclude this series. Ooh, last scene. April 8th, 4:17 p.m. Prosecutor's Building, High Prosecutor's Office. Phew! Been a busy few days, huh, sir? Unbelievably so. How did so many important cases all come along at once? There's never a dull moment when I'm around. Guess I'm just lucky that way. Wait, so all that stuff happened because of you? No, Gummy! How can you say that? And yet, I don't think the good detective is entirely wrong. Well, okay, what now? Will you be returning to your thieving practice? Yeah, good question. What? You're not sure? How can I put this? I guess I feel like I've been trying to follow my father's footsteps this whole time, you know? Trying to become a great thief, just like he was. The Yatagarasu, or a Yatagarasu at least. But watching how this all panned out for you, Mr. Edgeworth, it got me thinking that maybe I need to get out from under his shadow and live my own life, too. Just like how you decided not to do the whole attorney thing. It's time to make our own fate. She's right. After all, nothing thrives in the shade. I'm going to be my own hero. That sounds like an admirable plan indeed. Won't be giving up the name, though. Can't not be the Yatagarasu, right? Whatever your name you pick, you'll always be K to us, K, and you'll always be a hero. Aw, thanks, Gummy. You'll always be my Gummy, too. You bet I will, and I'll be doing my detective thing just as hard as always. So I'll be counting on you, sir. Yes, and I'll be counting on you too, detective. Just as I've been counting on you these last few days. You helped us out too many times to mention. I think your next salary review may come as a pleasant surprise. Huh? Huh? Wait! You mean... What's the matter? I'm saying I'll see to it that you get paid a little more, Detective. You will? This is unbelievable, sir! No way! Go Gummy! It's like a dream come true! I can finally leave the instant noodle life behind! I don't think I'll be letting you rest on your laurels. Your work won't be getting any easier. I hope you understand that. Yes, sir! Understood, sir! I'll give you everything I got, just you wait and see! Bender and Judge Cavell set me on a new path in life. A path on which I will face down every contradiction that the law has to present. A path at whose end lies the ultimate truth. But can I really do this? I'll need to give it some serious thought. It certainly won't be easy. Nonetheless, Mr. Edgeworth, there is another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winter. Someone else was with me. Someone other than the goddess. Of course! Sean! This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having it near gave me hope. When we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going, no matter how hard the road ahead. So that was your secret weapon all along. The strength of your bond with your son. The strength of my bonds. Oh! I almost forgot! What? What is it? I was trying to find other members for my Yatagarasu team, right? I do vaguely remember something about that. I never even found a single one. We were going to be unstoppable in our quest to steal the truth. So much for that little pipe dream. You're kidding, right? You already have a team. A team that can solve any case the world cares to throw at it. Huh. Yeah, I guess I do. The prosecutor, the detective, and the great thief. Between the three of us, we can hunt down the truth, put it in handcuffs, and steal it once and for all. I can't help feeling a little sorry for the truth in that case. As long as the three of us stick together, we got nothing to fear. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed, nothing at all. My father followed his own path, right to the end. And now, I follow a path of my own making, too. But not alone. I have some colorful companions to help me. As long as they're beside me, I won't lose my way. It's a new path, and a new me. And I'll be walking it as a prosecutor, not an attorney. My father's path and mine are different, but they're not as separate as they may seem. Though the routes differ, the destination is the same. Because of course, both end at the truth. And that's it! That's it, ladies and gentlemen! Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is finally done! And I hope everyone enjoyed this Let's Play as much as I did. Oh my god, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I'm so glad I finally got to be able to play these games in actual good quality, too, because, believe it or not, I did play these on an emulator back a few years ago, but unfortunately, they weren't translated properly, because as you know, the first game only released here in America, and the second one never made it out of Japan, so I wasn't able to fully invest myself into these two games. But now that I finally got the ability to play these two games, I have to say, I'm glad I got the opportunity to play them here live on the TheAmariaShadow channel. So, thank you all for watching, and as always, your host TheAmariaShadow saying along, see, and I'll see you tomorrow with more gameplay of possibly Gekish Squadra, Ultra Rumble, Marvel Rivals, or whatever tickles my fancy that day. And then on the 3rd, we will begin our Let's Play of Digimon Story Time Stranger. Goodbye, everyone!